Where are you calling from, Matt?
Oh, I'm calling from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hi, thanks so much for answering my call, Mr. Seder. My name is Matt. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm actually a 17-year-old high school senior, and I'm actually just and I'm actually just calling. I was off school today, and I usually watch your videos on YouTube after I'm done like with everything, like I'm after cross country practice and everything in the night. And I love listening to the discussions that you have and the debates you have with other people too. When I started listening to it, the show this today when you started around 12, you said something about the death penalty that I thought was pretty interesting. That could sort of relate. Regarding the death penalty, you said that you're against the death penalty no matter what. Now, there's a man. I have a two-part question to this because there's a man, and I think his name was Charles something, but he was executed just a couple of weeks ago with some type of lethal drug that they're actually the Supreme Court's going to evaluate. But he was executed because he raped an 11-month-old girl and killed her. And I thought that was a pretty gruesome.
Horrible.
He's talking about Charles Warner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So I thought someone like that, or even someone like the Colorado shooter, the one who shot up the theater. I mean, people like those, they're menace to society. And regarding the death penalty, I'm a liberal too, but I feel people like that, I don't know how you defend sort of incarcerating them instead of death penalty.
Well, it's not a question of defending them in any way. It is that I do not think that giving the state the power to kill in cold blood is the right thing to do. I think it sends a message that, like, look, let me ask you this. Obviously, raping and killing an 11-month-old baby is absolutely heinous. What about raping and killing a 4-year-old?
Oh, just equally heinous.
Yes. And what about a 10-year-old?
Equally heinous.
Right. Now, what about a 20-year-old?
I would say that also that is also an equally heinous atrocity, but I feel like I think there's a preconception that society has with children as opposed to adults, and it's really horrific when you hear someone raped college students.
Right. I agree with you, but you see where I'm going with this. Okay. Are you saying just a death penalty for people who rape and kill children? Or are you saying just a death penalty for people who at least kill children? Or are you saying death penalty for killing a cop? Or death penalty? In other words, that line where you determine what warrants the state to have the ability to kill in cold blood, that's fairly arbitrary. And I think that if you can slide that line based upon who's making that judgment, then it's not that far to slide down the line to, like, it's justified that I kill this guy, because he just cut me off in traffic. Now, that's obviously an extreme example. But what I'm saying is that I don't think that we should give that. I think it is very problematic to give the state the authority to kill in cold blood. Because I think then you're basically sending out the message that killing is okay as long as it's justified, even if there's no threat to you. You say there's a threat, then on some level, at least that is a binary thing. There's either a threat or there's not. But something that is so heinous, so heinous to one person is not so heinous to another. It may just be heinous. That's why.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Move over to, go ahead.
Does that make sense?
Oh yes, definitely. So if we were to move over to the shooter in Colorado, because he I don't know how many people exactly that he injured, but he killed a ton of people, injured a ton of people. He could be classified as a menace to society. How would you sort of classify that?
I would put him in. I would put him in prison for the rest of his life if that's what's deemed. If he's found guilty. I mean, life imprisonment. I think is warranted in certain cases. But once we know that this guy's in prison for life and he can't, and he's not going to be a menace to society anymore, then I think like the justification, I don't think there's any justification for a state-sanctioned cold-blooded killing.
Oh yeah, definitely. That makes sense. So my second part to the question now would be, so obviously the state is not involved. Well, I mean, it states that the federal Supreme Court's already ruled on abortion, but I always like to point out the flaws in the conservative ideology, in which they say that they protect all life when it comes to abortion, but not necessarily in the death penalty. And last week, one of my teachers, who is 26 weeks pregnant, said that she can feel the baby's legs kicking, and like she said that the baby's basically a baby. It's a human being inside of her. And he said that liberals who want abortion illegal at 26 weeks, she should also take up the death penalty too. Like they can't be inconsistent. That if you want to be able to kill, then you should be able to kill on both issues.
I don't believe that a fetus is a person. And I believe that we have the reason why I'm against the death penalty is I don't believe that you should kill a person. If I didn't believe that we shouldn't kill life, I wouldn't eat plants or animal either, frankly.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, step on an ant. To me, it's about people. And I don't think that a 26-week fetus is a person. Yeah. I mean, that's basically where I draw the line. I mean, someone who is who doesn't believe in a woman's choice to have sovereignty over her own body would disagree and say that's, an arbitrary distinction on your part. But, that person who we would kill, the state would kill. I never refer to like, I don't believe the state should, should protect life. It's that I don't believe the state should have the right to kill a person in cold blood.
There's a little bit of a contradiction, though, in your position when you tried to kill that doorman in our last place a couple of months ago. That was a little awkward, Sam.
What doorman?
What doorman?
Michael doesn't feel comfortable with the conversation getting this serious, I think is what he said.
No, it's triggering for me.
But does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Now, I mean, when she said it, because it's a woman, she's pregnant, and I was actually, at the time, I was helping her wash out some beakers. And when she said it, I was really dumbfounded. Like, I didn't know where to go, because this is a woman who is pregnant. It's a woman, first of all. She's pregnant, and she's telling me this, and I'm a 17-year-old boy, and I mean, you have kids, but I don't have kids, and I couldn't really think of an argument against that. And I thought,
well, I would say you have the choice, and that's what's really important, because if you didn't feel that you basically what I would say to her is that I think it's really important that you have the choice, because you feel that with this potential person or this potential child. But you should also have the choice to say, you know what, I want sovereignty over my own body, that this fetus of 26 years, 26 weeks rather, can't.
26 weeks.
Yeah, this fetus is not viable, and you should have the choice. You should have both the economic power that's involved in that choice. You should have the personal power that's involved in this choice. And that's it. And that's the way I feel about it. And she could say, this is what I choose. That's fine. That's her choice. But the question isn't whether or not she has the right to choose to to carry that term, that fetus to term, pregnancy to term. The right is, does she have the right to force other women who are 26 weeks pregnant to force them to carry that fetus to term? That's the real question.
Exactly. Yes. But thank you so much, Mr. Seder. I really appreciate you taking my question.
My pleasure.
Extensively. I really do.
Please.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Please, next time, call me Sam.
Bye.
Thanks.
Don't talk to him so respectfully. It sets a bad precedent.
It definitely does.
Yeah.